All right, thanks, Peter. So this morning, I just wanted to give a quick update on some of the surveillance activities that we've been doing. Sorry for my voice this morning. So just some general objectives or description of the surveillance program in 2025. So prior to this, we had about 17 sites that we monitored. That was in 2023. So this year, we've really increased the surveillance capacity. It's island-wide, both the spring and the fall. We're looking at both wild beds as well as aquaculture sites. We're using qPCR for MSX and Dermo primarily with ONDA and RPC. We're using this information to help you to inform the presence, prevalence, and intensity of both diseases. So, from our perspective, we're hoping this can be used by industry for decision making, as well as government to inform management. So, really what I wanted to talk about this morning is the dashboard that we're using. So all of this information goes on to it's on the MSX Info Hub in a dashboard. But before I get to that, just a few rough statistics on the level of testing this year. So right now we're close to 12,000 oysters that have been tested this year. So just for interest from the wild beds, MSX prevalence in the spring as an island-wide number was at about 10%. And then this fall it rose to about 50%. Dermo, no detections in the spring, and then there was one detection, and I guess it would have been East River this fall. With aquaculture, so MSX prevalence, the numbers are quite similar, so around 10% in the spring, and then up around 45% in the fall, with a little bit of a higher prevalence for Dermo in the fall. And so I was hoping to have this be a little bit more interactive and bring up the website, but for this morning, I'll just show you a couple of screenshots. And what I wanted to point out here is that we have made a couple of changes to the dashboard. Originally, we only had total prevalence for MSX and total prevalence for Dermo. We've added in a couple of new statistics to that. So for each of MSX and Dermo, we have a new one that it's a less than 20 for the CT value, which we have quite a bit of background information that supports the use of that level to indicate a more advanced infection in the oysters. So it's not just a yes, no, is MSX present? It's giving an indication of how far advanced that infection is. And I think Jesse's made a couple of additional changes compared to this site here that gives a little bit of more information on that. And maybe just to backtrack a little bit, I know it came up in the presentations this morning, but when we're looking at the CT or the CQ value, it's, I'm probably not the best person to speak about it, but the lower the CT value, we can interpret that as the higher the infection in the oysters, and it relates to how many times the genetic material has had to be replicated in the sample before a detection can occur. So just for interest in terms of how this can be used, we've just highlighted a couple of examples. So in the top, Enmore River, we're seeing 100% prevalence, so the number of oysters that have a detection in them. And then when you're looking at the CT values of less than 20, it's also a really high number, 83%. And I think as everyone is aware in the room, that's an area that high mortalities have been reported. And then if you look at the bottom, the bottom screenshot, that's for Covehead Bay, and it also has a high percent prevalence, the number of oysters that have the detection, but the CT value is less than 20. None of the oysters had a value of less than 20 in those, and we have not heard about any mortalities being reported in that area. So it's just additional information that we wanted to add to the dashboard to give more information as since we're getting these CT values when we're getting the reports back, we wanted to be able to share them with everyone. That's really all. I just wanted to give that quick update on the CT values because it's a new thing that's been added to the dashboard within the last week. And also thanks to Jesse for doing all this this mapping. I think it's a really valuable tool. So with that, thank you.